A shaman of mysterious origins, the Big Face acts as Abe's spiritual guide during his odyssey to rescue his enslaved Mudokon kin. He is known only by his epithet, which derives from his huge tribal mask that always covers his face. To this day, no Mudokon has ever seen the Big Face without his mask. Conflicting rumours, however, pin the Big Face as the most beautiful Mudokon one could ever imagine, and as a buck-toothed freak as well. Both likely originated and are perpetuated by the always facetious Alf, and should be taken with a grain of salt. First seen following Abe's untimely death, the Big Face utilised his spiritual prowess to bring Abe back to life, and entrusted him with a quest to save not only his Mudokon brothers, but also Oddworld's revered wildlife that had been exploited by the Gluckons and were nearing extinction. Abe then met up with the Big Face following each of his trials in Paramonia and Scrabania respectively. The Big Face awaited Abe at the stone shrine in each temple, and imparted upon him the mark of the Paramite and the Scrab, thus granting Abe the ability to assume the form of the Shrikol, a Mudokon god of duality that represents creation and destruction, fear and love.
Now my chant had power. Rupture Farms should be warned.
Following the destruction of Rupture Farms 1029, the Big Face materialised in Abe's cell, where he used his chant to teleport the unconscious Mudokon Messiah to safety. The two of them reappeared on a podium in the Mosaic Lines, where Abe was hailed as a hero before his freed brothers.
I had just returned from saving 99 Mudokons from Rupture Farms.
After a nervous fart from the blue-skinned hero, the Big Face offered Abe a hearty pat on the back, which accidentally caused Abe to lose his footing and fall on his head, knocking him unconscious. The Big Face has not been seen publicly since his embarrassing misstep, leading some inhabitants to speculate that the Big Face had gone into hiding, believing he had killed the Mudokon Messiah. Such speculation is totally false, and can probably be attributed to another one of Alf's wild fantasies. In reality, Abe had long since surpassed the Big Face's abilities, and with nothing left to teach, the masked Mudokon had lent himself to help other inhabitants in other places. But just because the Big Face doesn't show up anymore, doesn't mean that he's not lending his help to Abe whenever he can. He is constantly sending his friends into the heart of darkness to help Abe on his journey. Word around had it that the Big Face was going to help out during Abe's infiltration of Viker's labs, yet on the big day, he was nowhere to be seen. One of the elder Mudokons, the Big Face has more than a fair share of rumours surrounding him. Alf often prattles on about the supposed origins of the Big Face's mask, saying that he picked it up at an old junk shop in exchange for some comic books. Similarly, Alf has also claimed that the Big Face only wears the mask to try and impress any female Mudokons he might come across. It is also said that the almighty Raisin, one of Oddworld's wisest councils, and the Big Face share a curious relationship. The Raisin apparently thinks the shaman is a little-faced mudfink, and the Big Face is quoted as calling the Raisin an almighty windbag with a sleeping disorder and a pound of denial in every wrinkle. In other words, they respect each other. Although the Big Face represents one of the most mystical Mudokons left in the wild, the exact nature of his powers are not entirely understood. One might even reason that the Big Face knows the extent of Abe's arduous quest, and what fate has in store for the Mudokon Messiah. In typical Mudokon fashion, however, he's not saying much.